What if the quality of our lives really comes down to the quality of our relationships? It's a pretty powerful thought, right? But how do we go from just, having relationships to actively building winning ones? Well, today we're going to unlock a blueprint from the master motivator himself, the one and only Zig Ziglar.
So here's the plan. We're going to start with the basic framework, and then we'll dive into 4 huge steps: building on integrity, mastering our own reactions, applying the golden rule, and finally, building on the positives. All right, let's jump in.
Okay, first things first. We've got to lay the groundwork. Before we can build anything, we really need to understand what makes a relationship work and what makes one fall apart.
Just think about it for a second. In your own life, what really separates a good relationship from a not-so-good one? Is it trust, communication, respect? Well, according to Ziglar, the difference isn't just random luck. Nope, it actually comes down to a few very specific, learnable ingredients.
And here they are. This right here, this is the core of the whole blueprint. Think of these as the 4 pillars that can seriously transform any relationship, from just struggling along to being truly successful. Now, it's a simple path, but that doesn't mean it's easy. And it all starts with that foundation.
And I mean this everything. Absolutely everything starts right here. See, without integrity, you can't build trust. And without trust, you really don't have a relationship. It is the absolute bedrock. I just love this definition. It's so simple, but so powerful. It's not about how you act when everyone's watching, right? It's about who you are in those quiet moments when nobody's looking. Those are the private victories that end up earning you public trust.
And here's the best part: the personal payoff for you. Living with integrity, it's not just some gift you give to other people, it's a gift you give to yourself. It frees you from fear and guilt, which means you can show up as your most authentic self in every single interaction.
All right, so once you've got that solid foundation of integrity, the next layer is all about managing yourself. It's about making that huge shift from being a victim of your emotions to being the master of your responses. And this brings us to a really crucial distinction. You see, reacting, that's that knee-jerk, emotional, impulsive thing we do. But responding, that's thoughtful, that's controlled. It's that little pause, that one single breath you take to actually think, and then choose a path that builds the relationship up instead of tearing it down. And that choice, that's where all your power is.
And let's be honest, we've all been there, right? The blame game. The second you start pointing fingers, you've stopped trying to solve the problem, and you've started attacking the person. Getting out of that trap means taking total responsibility for your part, no matter how small you think it is. It's really the only way to stop that downward spiral and actually start moving forward again, together.
Okay, so you've got your foundation of integrity. You're working on controlling your reactions. Now we can start to turn our focus outward. This next step is all about moving from that internal mindset to actual external action.
You know it, I know it, we all grew up hearing this one. But how often do we really consciously practice it? It's like the ultimate empathy exercise, isn't it? Just putting yourself in the other person's shoes and treating them with the exact same respect, kindness, and consideration you'd want for yourself.
Now this idea here, it takes the golden rule to a whole new level. It's a philosophy Ziglar actually learned from his boss, and it pretty much defined his entire career. It completely shifts your focus from what can I get out of this to what can I give. And the amazing thing, the paradox, is that when you focus on helping enough other people get what they want, you end up getting what you want.
All right, our final step. And this one is all about where you choose to point your attention. Because here's a simple truth: what you look for, you will find. Every time. If you go around searching for faults, trust me, you'll see them everywhere. But if you make the choice to actively look for the good, you'll find that too. And that changes everything.
I love this term, become a good finder. Seriously, it's a job title we should all want on our resume. A good finder is just someone who intentionally looks for the positive qualities in other people, who looks for the good things they're doing and then points it out. It's about catching people doing something right. And that one simple habit can totally transform the energy in any relationship. But okay, what about when things do go wrong? Because they will. Giving feedback is absolutely essential, but man, it's a delicate art. The real key here is to criticize the performance, not the performer. You have to separate the two. A mistake is just an action, it's not who they are. Making that one distinction is huge because it protects their self-worth and keeps them open to getting better instead of just shutting down completely.
And here's the practical how-to. First, always give feedback in private. That preserves their dignity. Second, be super specific and talk about things you can actually observe. Don't say, "You were lazy." Say, "The report was missing these 3 sections." See the difference? It's all about the behavior. Then, ask questions to understand where they're coming from. And finally, and this is so important, develop a cooperative plan to move forward. That's how you turn criticism into coaching.
Okay, let's bring this all home and make it personal. Take a look at this quick self-assessment. Just scan these items for a second. Giving sincere compliments, looking for the good in others, being a trustworthy mate. How are you doing? And hey, there's no grade here. This is just for your own personal growth.
So I'm asking you, seriously, where do you stand? What is one area you can focus on this week? Just one thing from everything we've talked about that you can put into practice, like today. Don't try to boil the ocean and change everything at once. Just pick one thing. Maybe it's that pause before you react. Or maybe it's actively looking for one good thing in your partner or a coworker.
And let's wrap this up with a really powerful quote. You can buy a man's time, but you cannot buy loyalty. You cannot buy devotion of hearts, minds, or souls. You must earn these. Wow, think about that. The things that make relationships truly meaningful, that loyalty, that devotion, that trust, you can't buy them. You can't demand them. They have to be earned. And these 4 steps we've just covered, they aren't just some neat little method. They're the daily work. They're how you earn the relationships that matter most in your life.